Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Brett Dworkis of Performance Chiropractic here in Olathe, Kansas. I would like to welcome everyone to this third and final evening of our January trilogy of seminars. With the beginning of every year, so many people set goals where their health is concerned. However, as with any process, many people don't really know where to go for good information. So we're doing this trilogy to help you with that information. Tonight's seminar, Think, will be about how to set yourself up psychologically to attain all of your goals and to create the life you want. I hope you get some great information out of this evening's talk and that you'll come back to round out your information. If you didn't listen to the first two seminars, listen to Eat and listen to Move. They're going to give you some great information you need to reach your goals this year. Kamari Lyrical said, "Positive thoughts are not enough. There have to be positive feelings and positive actions." The goal of this teleseminar is not to debunk positive thinking, because this would be a direct contradiction since this is a practice that we employ daily. But the intention of this material is to open your eyes to a specific strategy that will aid you in bringing your positive psychology to life. The world of positive psychology has existed since the biblical days and has evolved over the years to a new age way of thinking. But the reality is that this state of mind is rooted in the existence of mankind. There's a wonderful quote from John Lennon of the Beatles that says, "Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end." This epitomizes the journey called life. But there's an element of false hope that has the potential to be overlooked with this statement, because the only way that everything will be okay in the end is if you make a conscious effort to do something about your life and what you desire. Don't get me wrong. I would much rather you believe that your life will amount to everything that you desire, as opposed to feeling that you're always going to fall short. But what gets me even more enthusiastic is to witness people who are fulfilling their life mission and purpose. Will this be easy? Obviously not, because nothing that's ever worthwhile ever comes effortlessly, but the journey is worth it, and I can assure you that thinking positively is not the only ingredient to get you to your destination. This is why I'm about to share a step-by-step strategy that I'll guarantee will work for you, if and only if you don't stop until you get whatever it is that you desire. And just so you know, when I say desire, this is a subjective term that must be defined by you, because the beauty of a life vision is that it's unique to the beholder. So for you, maybe it's financial, health-related, relationship-focused, adventure-oriented, weight control or health-oriented, or a combination of all of these and more. But regardless, what you're about to learn will help make this a reality when employed and persisted. But before we go any further, please give me a moment to tell you a story. Allow me to introduce you to Mary and Joanna. Mary is a 39-year-old woman who has two children, 11 and 7. She's happily married. She works as an administrative assistant at a law firm, and she's about 25 pounds overweight. Joanna is a 38-year-old woman who has two children, 12 and 8. She's happily married. She works as a high school guidance counselor, and she's about 25 pounds overweight. Now, both Mary and Joanna decide that it's time to lose weight, and they plan on going on a diet. But before they go on a diet, take a look at what Mary says. Mary says, "Dieting is so hard. Dieting is so limiting. I have tried everything and nothing works." Now, take a look at what Joanna says about diet. She says, "I'm so excited to eat healthy, nutritious foods. I'm going to increase my energy for my children, and I can't wait to wear a bikini this summer." So who do you think is going to be successful? Mary or Joanna? Hang tight, because it's a little too premature to tell. So let's first dig into the strategy to really think well. Why positive thinking ain't enough? What do you desire from your life? Thomas Leonard said, "Clarity affords focus." If you wanted to go on a road trip, it would be rather important to first decide where you want to go, right? As opposed to driving aimlessly and arriving wherever the road takes you. Well, the same holds true for your life, because in order for you to begin the process of thinking well, you need to define what this even means to you. Maybe your desire is to have more financial security, a better or a more sensual love relationship, maybe improved health or more respectful children, a larger home or a more exciting career. Regardless of what it is, what is your destination? The quote from Thomas Leonard is extremely fitting for this first step, because once you have the clarity based on what you desire from your life, you're going to be able to focus on what you need to get done outside of just positive thinking, which is obvious. So what is the story that's ruling your life? Mahatma Gandhi said, "Man often becomes what he believes himself to be. If I keep on saying to myself that I cannot do a certain thing, it is possible that I may end by really becoming incapable of doing it. On the contrary, if I have the belief that I can do it, I shall surely acquire the capacity to do it, even if I may not have it at the beginning." Everything in life is what it is, and our context, aka the words that we attach to it, become decisive. All of us are succumbed to our story of what we deem as possible, and the longer we tell ourselves the same story, the longer we prevent ourselves from living the life that we have always desired. So let's think about step one for a moment, and say that maybe your desire in life is to become a millionaire. This would be what is a desire to become a millionaire. Now your story will either propel you forward, so this becomes your reality, or will hold you back as a false sense of security. For example, do you associate wealth and greed with statements like, "When I become a millionaire, I'll become greedy, selfish, and probably lose all the people I care about most"? Wow, what an empowering internal dialogue, and I'm sure that money is right around the corner for you. Or maybe your desire is to improve your love relationship, and the statements you make are for the following: "In order to improve my love relationship, I will need to compromise all of my hobbies, never see my friends again, and plateau in my career." Now, there's a very good chance that you've adopted this empowering, and I'm kidding by the way, belief system because your parents, grandparents, mentors, or others defined this area of your lives and then you adopted this on your own. For example, maybe your father was a millionaire, but he never had time for his family, and he was self-absorbed, and his greed ended up leading to a divorce. If you adopted this belief system as your own, then no wonder you're not a millionaire. It doesn't seem like that it's all what it's made out to be. It's absolutely essential in step two to figure out what subconscious or even conscious stories that you're telling yourself, because I will guarantee you that if you're not living the life you've always desired, or you are but you still want more, your story is what's preventing you from manifesting this for you. The next step is to access your drive. William Barclay said, "There are two great days in a person's life: the day we are born and the day we discover why." What is your drive to think well? Why is this even important to you in the first place? The most powerful asset you have is your why, and why do you do what you do? The statement will become your driving force if and when your old story begins to creep back into your life and starts to anchor you once again. But in order to use this indestructible force, you must first recognize what it is for you. If your desire is to become a millionaire, why? If your desire is to have a sensual and loving relationship, why? If your desire is to improve your health, why? If your desire is to change your career, why do you want to do that? The second and the key to recognize is that your why cannot be this elusive or surface level response to sounding good. It has to be rooted in an intense meaning, maybe even an experience that will drive you even when everything inside says stop. Remember, positive thinking ain't enough just for this very reason, because when the going gets tough, which it will, your default cannot be everything will get better. And instead it must be, I will make everything better by doing blank because my drive is blank. So it's time to change your story, and you need to do that now. Henry Ford said, "If you think you can do a thing or you think you can't do a thing, you're right." Now that you're aware of the story that's holding you back and why it's absolutely essential to destruct this limiting belief, it's now time to change your story, which will in turn change your life. I call this internalized rephrasing because it not only changes the words of the story that you communicate within your mind, and maybe you exchange that externally as well, but it's also a requirement to change the emotions that you attach to this story so that you can use Henry Ford's quote to your advantage. Let's go back to the desire to be a millionaire example. The old story may have been, when I become a millionaire, I'll become greedy, selfish, and probably lose all the people I care about most. So the new story that you want to create in your mind and really get a feeling for is, when I become a millionaire, I will have the ability to help people who are less fortunate. I'll be able to share my success with the people that I care about most, and I'll become an even better role model for my children because they will see somebody who accomplished their goals, became a better lover to my significant other, because I will create more opportunities for us to get away, etc. You need to absolutely banish the story of limitations and replace this with a dialogue of opportunity. This means that you might need to sit down with the almost obsolete paper and pen and begin to write your new story, the one that's going to guide you to where you desire your life to go. Step 5 is establishing rituals for success. Benjamin Franklin said, I rise early almost every morning and sit in my chamber without any clothes whatsoever, half an hour or an hour, according to the season, either reading or writing. This practice is not in the least painful, but on the contrary, agreeable, and if I return to bed afterwards, before I dress myself, as sometimes happens, I make a supplement to my night's rest of 1 or 2 hours of the most pleasing sleep that can be imagined. So far, we've spent some time digging into the internal dialogue that's holding you back from thinking well and realizing that life that you truly desire. But now it's time to get into some serious action, and we'll define the action as rituals for success. There's a concept that I would like to share that has been passed on to me from one of my mentors, which states, do what others don't even think to do, because doing what they won't do isn't enough, because there's always people out there who will do what others think to do. But if you truly want to live the life of your dreams, you must do what others won't think to do. That's a mouthful, but it's also extremely true. You need to create a routine of daily rituals where the byproduct is that you think well and that you are pursuing the life that I know you desire to manifest. So here's a list of ideas that you may want to consider. Meditation. What if you gave yourself permission to meditate for 10 minutes each day? I already know what you're saying. Doc, I don't have time, a quiet space, know-how, etc. to meditate. Well, since this is your story, and we are in the business of abolishing stories, this won't suffice. You must give yourself the ability to be alone with your thoughts and in a quiet mind for 10 minutes each day. So this might mean that you get to work 10 minutes early and you sit in your car, or you arrive home and spend 10 minutes parked outside of your house. Whatever the case, you must create this space. Another thing that I've seen work wonders for people when it comes to thinking well is the act of writing every day for at least 10 minutes. Sometimes I write about gratitude, other times I write about vision, but every now and then I write about frustrations. But the byproduct is always beneficial, as this ritual gets me to put my thoughts out on the paper. Now, we live in such a go-go world that our inner child often gets lost, and it must be resurrected in its adult form. What do you enjoy doing? Maybe you like dancing or singing, playing an instrument, cooking, etc. Creating space in your life for play at least 2 times a week. These moments will become something that you look forward to, and if you have children, let them play with you. It can become an entire family activity. Find books with meaning. Feel free to ask for recommendations. I have a ton of books. I love books, and I read every day. And finish at least one empowering book each quarter. The goal of this book is to get you to think differently about your life, open your perspective to new opportunities, become more acquainted with your truth, and accomplish all of your goals. Two great books, ones that I've just read lately. One I'm reading right now is called Clarity. It's actually really, really good. And another one is Who's in Your Room. And that, I won't get into the book right now, but you might look up those two. They're great ones to get you started, and they'll definitely change the way you think. Now, I need to at least reference this, but you need to eat well and move well regularly. This means a diet filled with high-quality protein and produce and daily physical activity. This will give you energy and the mental clarity to accomplish the life that you desire. Now that you have a new story for your life, make this your mantra and recite it at least once each day. Scream it out loud and let the world know the time is here and the time is now for everyone to know just what is possible for you. As someone just told me recently, beat the drum and never stop. Now, this one also may be a little obvious because, well, I'm a chiropractor, but your central nervous system is the master controller of your entire body. And if there's any interference, your ability to live the life that you have always desired will be hampered. It's essential that you live the chiropractic lifestyle with regular assessments to assure that you're operating optimally. Make sure to schedule your appointment today. You can call our office. And lastly, make sure that you refuel and re-energize. Our brain interprets lack of sleep as a threat to the central nervous system. Sean Aker, the author of Before Happiness, writes, which can cloud judgment. Missing one night of sleep can cause you to remember 59% fewer positive words, which could make you overly focus on the negative. If you are well rested and just fed, it will be easier to see the broader range of valuable details, information, and possibilities, Aker writes. In one well-known Columbia Business School study, judges granted parole to only 20% of the applicants before lunch, but to 60% after they ate something. So try this. If your attitude is chronically cranky, look at your eating and sleeping habits. A mid-morning snack could be what you need to steady your blood sugar. Step 6 is to visualize what you stand to gain. Proverbs 29 verse 18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people will perish." It is now time to see yourself as someone who is already living their ultimate desired life. What does this look like? What does it feel like? What will you be doing? What does this mean for your family and your friends? What does this mean for your health, your finances, and relationships? What does this mean to you? You need to see this vision so clearly that the vision becomes your reality, and now it is just a matter of time, based on all the action steps we've already taken before you arrive at your vision. The next step is to assemble a powerhouse team. Michael Jordan said, "Talents win games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships." You need a network of people who are supporting you and people you are supporting. We call this synergistic relationship, which can be defined as 1 + 1 = 3. Our clinic is the first place to stop and achieve this because our entire team is on this journey with you. But it extends even further than this because the family we have built with all of our practice members are all driven to a life based on all of their desires. The power is in the pack, and we know that we can accomplish this together. But you need to get an accountability network because on this journey you're going to digress, you're going to fall off track, and you're going to struggle. It's inevitable. But what makes these challenges short-lived is associating with people who get it and can help you get on track. Get involved with our clinic today. It will change your life in more ways that you know. The next step is to answer the questions why. Rochelle E. Goodrich said, "Don't ever give up. Don't ever give in. Don't ever stop trying, and don't ever sell out. And if you find yourself succumbing to one of the above for a brief moment, pick yourself up, brush yourself off, whisper a prayer, and start off where you left off. But never, ever, ever give up." The final step is to reconnect once again with your why, or your drive. Why is living your ultimate desired life and thinking well so important for you? Remember these questions. If your desire is to become a millionaire, why? If your desire is to have a sensual and loving relationship, why? If your desire is to improve your health, why? And if your desire is to change your career, why? Your why will become the new default, whereas in the past your old story would have been that which would have held you back. This default is empowering. This default will drive you, and this default will make your ultimate desired life your reality. So back to the story of the story. So to accomplish the story, or to the outcome of the story about Mary and Joanna is that both of these lovely ladies will accomplish their goal of losing 25 pounds and keeping it off. And the reason is because it doesn't matter where you begin this journey or with which thoughts you begin this journey. What matters is what you do after you begin to make your life vision become real and how you implement changes to make your end goal happen. Mary and Joanna are no different than you, and the time is here and the time is now to rewrite your own story, just like these two lovely ladies. It's your time. Now, the intention of this report is not to debunk positive thinking because it obviously serves a crucial role, but rather than share a step-by-step strategy to bring your positive thinking to life. Our goal is not to scare you with this special report. Our goal is not to create more stress, and our goal is not to prevent you from enjoying yourself because thinking well requires work. Our goal is to help you because when you become more aware of how you create your ultimate desired life by combining positive thinking with massive action, you're going to be more successful. We are here for you because our singular focus is to improve the quality of life and health for every person that we encounter. So this is going to conclude our seminar this evening and our January trilogy of seminars. Tonight we talked about think, which is creating those positive psychological habits to reach your goals. We hope that you got a lot from this seminar. Remember that you can find us on our website at www.myperformancechiropractic.com and on Facebook at Performance Chiropractic-Olathe. Please feel free to email us at performance_chiropractic@yahoo.com or feel free to call us anytime at 913-782-5000. Thanks again for joining us, and have a great evening, everybody.